The 1980s marked a significant era in technological advancement, shaping a future that was somewhat uncertain to many. Life during this period was relatively uncomplicated, as we focused on our daily routines and keeping up with the latest fads. With the passage of time, it's common to overlook some cherished aspects of that time. In this video, we'll reminisce and explore forgotten items commonly found in homes during the 1980s. Cookbooks and recipe boxes. In earlier times, before the internet became the go-to source for recipes, households relied heavily on physical cookbooks, with Betty Crocker being a notable favorite. However, families also had another method of preserving their cherished recipes: decorated wooden boxes, filled with handwritten index cards. These cards held the secrets to generations-old culinary traditions, passed down from one family member to another. Interestingly, modern online recipe platforms likely owe a debt to these handwritten family recipes, as they continue to influence contemporary cooking. Wall clocks, especially dome clocks. During the 1980s, it was rare to find a household without at least one wall clock prominently displayed. Among the various designs, dome clocks stood out with their elegant appearance and mesmerizing spinning balls at the bottom. These clocks weren't just functional timepieces, they were often considered decorative pieces, captivating observers with their movements. While dome clocks can still be found today, they've become less prevalent compared to their popularity in the 1980s, largely overshadowed by digital alternatives and the ubiquity of smartphones. Slide projectors. Slide projectors were a common sight in households, schools, and workplaces throughout the 1980s. Despite being somewhat outdated by that time, they retained their popularity, particularly for sharing vacation slideshows or educational presentations. However, their prominence began to decline in the 1990s with the rise of computers and digital technology. Nevertheless, slide projectors evoke a sense of nostalgia for many, who recall the excitement of gathering around a view projected images, even if they seem archaic to modern audiences. Colored toilet paper. In the 70s and 80s, colored toilet paper was all the rage, offering shades like blue, green, yellow, pink, and even floral patterns. It was a fun way to add a pop of color to bathrooms and match existing decor. However, the dyes used in these colored varieties were found to be potentially harmful, particularly for females, leading to their discontinuation by many companies. Knitted toilet roll covers. Another curious sight in many bathrooms during that era were knitted toilet roll covers. These covers often took the form of dolls wearing knitted dresses, cleverly concealing a roll of toilet paper. While the reason behind this practice remains uncertain, it seems to have been done simply because it was possible, rather than to hide the colored toilet paper. Glade Spin Fresh. The Glade Spin Fresh, launched in 1983, revolutionized bathroom air freshening. These innovative toilet paper roll holders weren't just functional, they added a delightful touch to the restroom experience. Filled with scented beads, they emitted a refreshing fragrance each time the toilet paper roll spun, leaving the bathroom smelling pleasant and inviting. What set the Glade Spin Fresh apart was its convenience and effectiveness. Users didn't have to remember to spray the air freshener or light candles after using the restroom. Instead, the simple act of pulling toilet paper would release a burst of fragrance, effortlessly refreshing the space. Despite their widespread popularity and use during the 1980s, modern preferences have shifted towards aerosol sprays for similar purposes. While the Glade Spin Fresh offered a unique, novel solution to bathroom odors, the convenience of aerosol sprays and air freshener diffusers has become more favored in recent years. However, for those who experienced the nostalgic charm of the Glade Spin Fresh, its memory remains a cherished part of their bathroom routines from the 80s. Cassette tape cabinets. During the 1980s, cassette tape cabinets were an essential piece of furniture in many households, especially for those who were avid collectors of music and movies. With the popularity of cassette tapes and VHS tapes soaring during this era, managing and storing these collections became a priority for many. Cassette tape cabinets were designed to accommodate the large number of tapes that people amassed over time. These cabinets typically featured multiple shelves or compartments, allowing users to organize their tapes based on genre, artist, or any other preferred categorization. Some cabinets even had drawers or compartments specifically designed for storing VHS tapes, accommodating the burgeoning home video market. Beyond mere storage, cassette tape cabinets also served as a display piece for homeowners to showcase their extensive collection to family and friends. Proudly lining the walls of living rooms or dens, these cabinets became a symbol of one's musical and cinematic tastes and preferences. Guests would often marvel at the impressive array of tapes neatly organized within the cabinet, sparking conversations about their favorite artists, movies, and shared interests. Russian doll tables. During the 1980s, nesting tables inspired by Russian dolls became a popular and practical addition to many living rooms. These sets typically consisted of 2 or 3 tables of varying sizes that could be neatly stacked together when not in use, resembling the nested dolls from Russian folklore. One of the key attractions of these nesting tables was their space-saving design. In homes where space was limited, such as apartments or smaller houses, these tables offered a versatile solution for occasional surface needs without taking up unnecessary floor space. When guests arrived or extra space was needed for snacks and drinks during gatherings, homeowners could easily separate the tables and distribute them around the room. Beyond their functionality, nesting tables also added a touch of style to living spaces. Available in a variety of materials and finishes, from wood to metal to glass, these tables could complement a range of interior decor styles, from traditional to contemporary. Additionally, some nesting table sets featured decorative elements such as carved designs or intricate patterns, enhancing their visual appeal and making them a focal point in the room. Miniature shelf tops. A hallmark of the 1980s, miniature shelf tops were perfect for displaying collections of small items. Whether showcasing figurines, trinkets, or other collectibles, these shelves made organizing and presenting miniature treasures a breeze, also serving as convenient gifts for friends and family. Frosted glass animals. Another popular collectible from the 80s, frosted glass animals adorned many homes. These delicate ornaments ranged from hummingbirds to cats and captured the fascination of enthusiasts who couldn't seem to get enough of them. Decorative geese. In the 1980s, decorative geese became a common theme in many households, adorning plates, glasses, pictures, figurines, and more. Often styled with white geese, ribbons, and blue accents, these decorative items added a touch of rustic charm to any home decor. Blue willow pottery. Another prevalent style in 80s homes was blue willow pottery, featuring a blue and white motif on plates, bowls, coffee cups, and vases. This classic design was ubiquitous in many households, creating a cohesive blue aesthetic in kitchenware. Cartoon bedding. For kids growing up in the 80s, cartoon-themed bedding was a staple. Bedspreads featured beloved characters like Care Bears, G.I. Joe, Rainbow Bright, Transformers, Strawberry Shortcake, and He-Man were popular choices, often accompanied by matching sheets and curtains. Coffee makers. Before the era of Keurigs and Starbucks, bulky coffee makers with built-in clocks were a kitchen mainstay in the 80s. People would often set up their coffee makers the night before to have freshly brewed coffee waiting for them in the morning, sometimes even featuring integrated radios for added convenience. Black and white TVs. While color TVs were standard in living rooms, black and white TVs remained prevalent in kitchens and bedrooms throughout the 1980s. Despite having holdovers from previous decades, they were still widely sold and appreciated for their reliability and simplicity. Electric typewriters. Electric typewriters were a common sight in the 80s, offering a more modern alternative to mechanical typewriters. While some still owned the older mechanical models, electric typewriters were favored for their convenience and perceived sophistication, though they were prone to breakage. The 1980s was a unique decade, filled with memorable items that may seem quirky to modern observers. However, for many, these items evoked cherished memories. What are some of the notable features you remember from 1980s households? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.